All right, hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing this morning? Hope everybody had a good weekend. Oh, what is this? Fuzz everywhere, vaccine cards everywhere. Good, thank you. I appreciate it, Neuro. Um, yeah, I was like, it's funny, like I panicked. I was like, I don't think I have a vaccine card picture. I was like, wait, what? Q? Wait, what? 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 Is that Q? Q, my friend, what is up, man? Good seeing you. Q, I gotta ask, man. Gotta ask. How is it? How is it up in New York, man? What is the city like right now? I know Maryland's getting crazy with like Baltimore last night announced that Baltimore goes Baltimore's like, yeah, we're closing down like a third of Baltimore schools, but they haven't notified which schools are closing down yet on Sunday night. I'm like, well, that's gonna mess up Monday morning for people. Like they were closing down. Yeah, you're in your bunker. Yeah. Good. Yeah, so that's Maryland. Yeah, we're going to close down a third of the schools, but we're not going to tell you till morning time. So parents, just don't look for childcare yet. And like three of the high schools or something like that, like is insane. I was like, what? Like, how do you close down a third the night before and not tell anybody about it? So, um, he's not painting a pretty picture. I haven't been to the city since last year. I don't ride the COVID train. Yeah, I can't honestly. I mean, I don't know. I can't even imagine like with as sketchy it is. Like I'd be wearing like a face shield, two masks, I'd like two KN95. I'd be like, just give me the full like Ebola outbreak suit, right? That would have been me. Yeah, I think you have to, right? I mean, my God, they're like, oh yeah, it goes right around all the vaccines. It's like, uh huh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're staying safe over there, buddy. So it's awesome to have you back. So, back to homeschooling. No, not yet. Well, not true. Jin is home. Her daycare finally, like her school or whatever, finally had their first positive case of a child. Since I don't know, like since the beginning. Like she's never her school's never been. They've never had a scare or anything like that. There was like a kid that got it or whatever, a family that got it, but was never there. Um, so yeah, so this is the first time. But now they're changing the rules. Now it's like it goes from it they like roll the dice every morning. Is it 5 days? Is it 10 days? Now they're saying it's like, oh, with no symptoms, it's this. And then there was a new thing we saw yesterday that says, basically, because of it's kids under 5, it has to be 10 because they can't be trusted to wear a mask. So like it should be 10. I'm like, listen, I'm telling you right now, if we're taking half the month off, man, I'm not paying for daycare. Like, so who knows? Jin's technically on like quarantine watch, but she's totally fine. She coughed a little bit yesterday. Melissa's like, "Do you think she's got it?" I'm like, "I don't know," but yeah, it's basically COVID roulette. It's kind of what it is. And the boys went back. I mean, the boys got lucky last week, right? They were supposed to go back. Asher just came off protocol, and they had a snow day on Monday, snow day on Tuesday, 2 hour like delayed opening on Wednesday, full day on Thursday, and then snow day on Friday. I'm like, can we just do virtual? And they've supposedly already added one day at the end of the school year. They're already getting out of like June 23rd or something like that. And we just found out next year, Maryland's been starting after Labor Day. This year, they're going to let them start before Labor Day. So we're starting earlier this year, and then we're already adding days at the end of the year. I'm like, we got virtual. Why do we even have snow days anymore? Like, this is ridiculous, right? Like we have snow. Like we did an entire year of virtual. Why don't instead of you just saying, "Hey, kids are off, they can play in the snow," why don't you just say, "Hey, listen, today's a virtual day. Log in like we did before. You guys all know how it goes. Everybody's got Chromebooks. They can do it." So yeah, yeah, yeah. So far, kids are fine. Asher had it before Christmas. He had like 3 weeks off December, and the craziest part about it was, kid never had a single symptom once. Like I don't even think he felt tired one day. He thought he won the lottery, and then like his first day back to school, his teachers were like, he had his head on the desk. Is he feeling all right? I'm like, he hasn't woken up before 10 o'clock in 3 weeks. What do you expect? You know, we've been trying, but yeah, that was our drama. So I hope today he was up at 6:30 in the morning. I was like shocked. I'm like, are you all right? So yeah, both kids were up and ready to go, and I was like, all right, let's waste a couple minutes before we leave for school today because I have to drive them to the school because they're in a special program. Yeah, fun. But yeah, that's I was like, Ashley, you did not win the lottery. You still have homework to do. I'm like, you better come out of this thing with like straight A's. So Yeah, 20 minutes. They gave him 20 minutes of schoolwork a day. That's all he was required to like log on for. 20 minutes. I was like, yeah. So his brother's like, it's not fair. I was like, you're right, Reese. It's not fair. You got to learn how to get a cough, buddy. If you could like start faking a cough, you'd be good. We'd let you stay home. So, but I'm sure one of them. I mean, Asher, I don't think he get it. I'm sure I'll be getting a phone call that they were in close proximity again, and yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And it's like I don't know. It's insane. But in regards to that, obviously it's running roughshod in the U.S. The UK's having issues too, and then I don't see it over here. Where is it? This right here. This article on China. If you guys are looking for an interesting article about what's going on, it looks like one of their provinces that has 15 million people in it. They've detected 20 infections so far in a single day, and you think, oh, 20, that's nothing. We're like 20,000. I mean, New York, you guys are like 80,000 a day, right? Um, with two identified as a new variant. If two people have it, and again, remember, you don't see as many symptoms with Omicron, right? I wonder how many people do they not know have it, and how is that spreading behind the scenes? So it should be interesting. Um, yeah, but it's the first time that they're actually getting to see it. So with Beijing on high alert, and it's interesting. But yeah, when it starts ripping through there too, we'll see. Because again, remember, you may say, well, who cares? It's China. Remember that the catchphrase, right? Supply chain shortages. Well, there you go. Supply chain shortages. If China starts locking everything down again, it's going to be the supply chain shortage thing all over again, and it's going to jack inflation even more. So yeah. So I don't know. I keep calling for a double raise. I expect. I mean, at this point, that's kind of what we're looking for. But besides that, it's actually the only other news we got over the weekend that's really affecting things. And again, I think that's why all the indices are more or less down. Um, we heard that basically, Russia and the U.S. don't think they're going to get anything accomplished in their meeting as far as the Ukraine goes. It was great last week that Russia was like, "Hey, Russia and China they all agree that nuclear weapons are so evil that we should never use them." But yet they're still going to invade the Ukraine, and then it's going to be like, "Well, you told us you weren't going to use nuclear weapons on us." It's like, here we go. But yeah, supposedly they expected nothing to happen from it. So we'll see. I think that's causing some issues. Everybody thought they were like all best buddy friends and things, and again, Omicron numbers are like insane. I'm pretty sure that Ernest and I will be back in Zoom school by the end of the month. So pretty sure. I think it's a high probability. Um, yeah, and we're gonna have James. I think we're gonna have James run it. We're gonna let James run it. Um, yeah, you got to add about 5 zeros to get New York's numbers. Yeah, yeah. I like my chips. I know. Yeah. So anyway, as far as movement goes, the dollar Swiss is the biggest mover. The Swiss is having some issues, and again, I guess that the pound yen is already catching up as well. The yen's putting some strength out there as well. So we have strong yen. We have very weak Swiss. Swiss across the board is heading down. There was actually an article down here about it. Did I get rid of it? I did. I didn't delete all these off. Security, not economics. The auto shop owner, which I thought was hysterical. We can do this. Yeah, there was an article out here earlier. Oh, wait, there it is. Swiss government under pressure to change this one. So this is also why we're seeing the Swiss get kind of smashed around. So it's interesting. Um, you know, i- they're under pressure to cut the Omicron quarantine. Uh, and I thought, I mean, I don't know. It just goes back to common sense. But people who show no symptoms after 48 hours should be allowed to come out of quarantine. Okay, okay. But if you are still contagious, it doesn't matter. It's like I don't know. It's kind of the same thing. Like you wear a mask not to protect yourself from others. You're wearing the mask so others are protected from you, right? It's supposed to catch the droplets and all that kind of stuff. If you're contagious, what the heck are you doing leaving the house anyway, whether you have symptoms or not? So it's interesting that this quarantine now is becoming, well, wait a second, they're doing it. They did 5, we can do 4, right? Like it's kind of a race. So um, I don't know. Whatever it is, the market does not like it. The Swiss is heading straight down. Dollar Swiss is getting crushed. Again, dollar Swiss going up. Swiss weakness is in there. Swiss yen also getting just hammered to the downside. So I don't know if that guy's serious or not. Like, hey, listen, if you feel fine in 2 days, you're good. Like, man, you can't even go out, with the flu after 2 days. So that's an issue. And then again, now that we have last week it was flu Rona, and this week it's Deltacron. They've now found a pocket of people that are it's a combination I guess Delta and Omicron had babies. I saw some interesting memes over that. Um, you know, whoever told Delta or whoever told COVID to go f itself, we need to have a talk, right? Because now we have Deltacron. I saw that and I was like, that is awesome. It's like man, that person gets that stand up comic. Um, I mean, come on. It's like whoever told COVID to f itself. I was like, that's awesome. So yeah, now we have Deltacron. So which I did mention that last week. I think that if that's actually a real thing, I do think that that's worst case scenario. Like I said, I get it. Right now, pretty much the take is everybody's going to get Omicron. The markets are feeling that as well. You're seeing it across the board, and whether it's indices, commodities, anything across, everybody's going to get Omicron. Omicron's not the end of the world, but if you have an Omicron type spreader that's like 10 times more contagious, that is bypassing all the vaccines that we've told that we need to take, right? But it has the virality of Delta, now we got a problem. That's going to actually be an issue. And then yeah, we'd have to go full lockdown again. But I think right now, I mean, I don't have like the battlefront plan, the game plan, right? But I think at this point, it's kind of like let's secretly get everybody Omicron so they're protected from other things, because what we got ain't working. And then of course Moderna's like, yeah, we can have a in the next 2 to 3 months we'll have a vaccine or we'll have a vaccine for Omicron. And then magically Pfizer this weekend's like, oh yeah, well we can have it in March. Like it's just it's funny. I love how everybody gets so motivated. It's like, oh, you're gonna be first? Well, I can do it faster. Here, hold my beer. So that's what we're looking at. But let's jump over the markets. Again, obviously today wholesale number is not really a big deal. Tomorrow, Powell's testifying. It should be pretty interesting. Like I said, it's kind of a week of inflation. We got CPI and then PPI, kind of bam, bam, bam. I bet you Powell gets lit up. I mean, he's finally said what needs to happen, but now people are going to be like, "Well, wait a second, the market's already down." Like, yes, the market is already down. It's down because of FOMC. How fast they're going to do it? Gold. I think Todd said it this morning. I think Goldman said that they're expecting 4 raises this year now, based off of what they see in their projections. So, I'm assuming somebody tries to light up Powell for not doing enough. Um, or not doing enough fast enough. I mean, they finally admitted we don't have transitory inflation, and then we got what we got now. So yeah, I don't know who it'll be. But yeah, he'll probably get lit up with something, and it's going to be the same. He's just going to say the same responses. We're looking at the data that we have. There's still this. We don't know what's going to happen. Again, he really shouldn't talk about Omicron in general or just COVID in general. I mean, he's not a doctor. He's not, that's not his realm of expertise. His realm is to look at the data, look at inflation, look at how what the trends are looking like. Labor is no longer an issue, so that's kind of off the table. They're not going to hit him with the unemployment rate because it is lower, even though it's again they can't hit him for utilization rate because they can't use that either. So it's kind of it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Again, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. Everything is going to be Pal's fault because that's the only thing we really need to watch out for. None of the other stuff are we really gonna no landmines, right? No landmines in the next 24 hours. So let's go across. So Aussie had an easy setup in the overnight. This one started again European session open. I was actually down here, right? So if you missed the overnight Aussie, and again it was a 50% pullback, level of basing strong push off, right? It chopped through the last one, and then again we ended the week kind of right down here, and there wasn't much in it. We opened up, there really wasn't much of a gap, but again it climbed up in the overnight. Had you been looking at this level, it was good. If you missed it, the next one came in at about that 5:15 time frame, that like 5:30, 5:15 time frame. So easy short, and all we're doing was pushing back to the lows. Again, we're trying to get back down to that 71.27. So again, simple draw in the overnight. You had two different ways to get into it. If you got into it early on, if you had that pre-European market open, you were out within basically 30 minutes of the European Open, and then again we got a second shot at it down. So um, yeah, right now I would say, I would say there's probably a little bit of a hiccup here, but I don't really see much holding this one back until we get all the way down. I wouldn't be looking for really any buying opportunities until 71.27, even with a rollover. There's not enough news today, and right now it's I mentioned this last week because of the dollar weakness that we had Thursday, Friday. I expected dollar strength coming in hard today, and that's what we're seeing. And I don't really see it slowing down too much, at least until we get to nice little buying areas again. And again, gold is just it keeps banging around 1800. I think if we get up there, we'll get you know another play on that. And again, even with gold rallying back up again, we're still seeing the Aussie just disintegrate versus the dollar. So Wait. Yet another vaccine. Yeah, this is an Omicron vaccine. So I don't know if we're gonna need a COVID vaccine and an Omicron vaccine, or if just the one works. I don't know. I feel like, Sean. I feel like if they would have put it in Bloody Mary form, everybody would have been good, right? Like if they offered the vaccine in either mimosa or Bloody Mary, wouldn't have had this problem. Everybody would have been vaccinated, right? And for the people that are religiously don't drink, we can do a virgin strawberry daiquiri solution, right? No problem. Everybody would have got it. We'd have been done, right? So it's all it would have take. All it would have takes. Debbie, I knew you'd like that one. Across all CM. So also, yeah, last week we talked about it. Again, the problem with this one was we really were kind of pushing back up. Here's where we kind of closed the week and we rallied. And again, we were really looking for a new basing, and we did get the new basing. Again, this is one of those ones that I always like to see something new over the weekend to kind of give me an idea of where we're going to go to, because there's nothing really there. This was, again, 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 we expect a break. And again, that's what happened. Here was the trade setup from Friday. We expected this to break, and then all of a sudden we did get a new top put in, and it looks just like the other trade, right? Not really much different. We had the 230 move down, and again we just continued to push, and again we had that short here. So again, we did get a retrace back up in. Again, pretty simple. We had another Harry Potter that we were starting to initiate at 82.54. We've actually just gone through it right now. I'd like to see a pullback a little bit, but unfortunately, the way that the Aussie dollar is moving, I don't know that we're going to get a decent pullback here for this one. And I kind of like to see if we can get a start, a base. Overall targets for me, though, on the downside are sitting down here at 82.23. But again, overnight short, been pushing down. I'm expecting a bit of a pullback. I'm assuming that 815 is not going to be the only pullback we get. You could have traded it, of course, but again, like I said, we had a trade from last week that we were looking for a break of 82.56 to take that one short all the way down. And like I said, we are a bit below that. It's funny. I didn't get alert for this one because my alert stopped here versus extending it across. I feel like for alerts, I'm going to have to start using the rays instead of the trend lines. But I will say, yesterday, I think I got five. I got like 5 or 6 emails from alerts that we set on Thursday and Friday. So it was nice. I was like, man, this is great. Like, man, I'm gonna have to start setting all these. And again, I may actually, I believe, like I said, I believe I can have the alert generated, shot right into scored. But I feel like that's what I'm gonna have to start doing. Um, it's easier because right now, if I want to send any alerts into Discord, I have to bring it over and I have to do it. I have to basically take them from here. I have to put them into MP4, and then again, we have the not the widget, but whatever you want to call it. One of the indicators that we have, the EA, that will actually send it over to Discord. But I kind of like this better. So yeah, I need to get this. I need to get TradingView into Discord and get that link set up, because, like I said, there was a lot of setups that came in, all based off of alerts that we set. Um, and again, everybody keeps asking me like for signals, and I'm always like, I don't want to do signals, but it would be kind of cool, like if we, for people that aren't able to attend the sessions live, if they want the alert levels that we have for trades, to kind of have trade setups and then just have the alert set, and then that would be kind of your subscription that you would be, you would get alerted when any of the alerts from Chart School get triggered. I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to do. So yeah, still working the kinks out of that one. But could be fun. Euro pound. Oh, and yes, the well side stuff, guys, is going. I actually do have the sign up, but I don't have the web page up. I need to finish the web page this week. I had the logo and all that. The logo is done. I made it. I tried to combine logos, but man, it was a pain. But yeah, so I have the sign up for appointments now for Wealthside, which is kind of cool. But I don't have the full web page up yet, so that's going in too. God, there's so much to do, and it's already like the 10th. See what happens when kids have COVID? What a pain. But anyway, still looking for this one short. Euro pound, again, chopping back and forth. We knew that we'd have issues here. And again, you can see it. It entered the air. We talked about the slow grind, and really kind of being the top and bottom would be these two levels. And you can see we're more or less holding firm in there. Thus far, we've been really riding back and forth again from these highs and lows. This is going to require some euro strength and some pound weakness. Now, Right now, across the board, the pound is kind of got some strength. It's not really doing much against the euro, and we've gotten some good data out of the European Union, particularly with inflation. Talking about, well, wait a second, inflation is it's higher than what we thought, and yes, we've seen that across the board. Pretty much everybody said the same thing, and now they're starting to talk about providing raises. So I would say right now, again, my kind of thinking on this is we're going to rally back up again. And again, this is again strong European based data. This week, unfortunately, and here let me take let's do none. Let's just go to the pound. You can see the pound doesn't really have much. It has actually that's next week. There's not much there this week, right? And if you look at them, they're not the biggest of releases. I mean, there's a retail sales monitor, and that was way down, and they're still got they're obviously losing to the yen here, but the yen is pretty strong, and they're losing a little bit to the dollar here, right? But that's the dollar's very strong right now. So, but if you look at the rest of it, I mean, GDP, I guess GDP is good, right? But that's really the best release all week. They have one. They got one. So there's not really a much there. And then click on the euro, kind of the same thinking. Euro's got a speech later on, and we got some retail sales in there, and we got some unemployment in there. And again, look at this monthly update. That's good. Unemployment, rate is down in Italy, and this number is good. So industrial production supposed to be lower, but again, is this too negative for Europe? I mean, if you look at it, there's not really blockbuster kind of totals right now. So like I said, some of these smaller ones are all good, but they were mentioning and they acknowledge inflation. So that's always an important piece of it. So again, right now I would say that, again, a little bit riskier of a zone, but again, if you wanted to take a little bit longer of a position, and the reality is though, this is only about 35 pips, right? We're going from what, 40 up to 67. Yeah. So yeah, you're looking at, yeah, about 30 pips total from, not from where we are, but from where the level is. So it's not a huge area, but I would say right now I'm kind of jumping on the category of more of the euro strong bull week as a potential, trade. So, but no real trade setup on this one. Euro yen dropping like everything else. This one we had an alert on there, and again we did have that Harry Potter kick in. We had this level here, and we marked it off, and we knew we had some buying, so we were looking for kind of a pullback from a bit lower. You can see it did. It came down and it based, and then bam, it pulled back and went lower. It's almost at its profit target right now, so it is almost out. Actually, the 3-to-1 is over, but we were talking about this one coming all the way down, and again, it kicks in right there. And again, this one was an 8:30 in the morning release, so no excuse not to get this one. Yeah, there's your 1 to 3. You're completely out. But again, we talked about bouncing off the 130.12. So easy setup. There was the alert. Again, we were looking for that break and the pullback to it. Again, as long as you guys know how to set if this then that orders, again, there you go. Again, that was a level from last week. So as far as taking this long from the 130.12 area, I wouldn't use the whole zone. I would actually be focusing on probably this in there. That's part of kind of the greater zone, but in reality, it's a one candle bottom. We like the formation of it. It had a pretty strong, decent push of it. So, although it's not a brand new level, and I mean, I guess I could take it back. I guess we could do here to there. It's not that much different. It's a little bit lower. But I wouldn't be looking for, again, profit targets will be at the 130. I wouldn't be looking for any type of reversal or longs until at least down here at the 130.08. And again, I'd like to get a confirmation bounce. I'd like to hit it, start to rally up a little bit, and then look for the pullback. I think is the only way to do it. Um, but yeah, so right now, I mean, yen is cruising, but again, you're starting to see some strength come in. Now, euro, dollar. Euro dollar, as you can see, right? Here was the Sunday night gap, right? We had the gap level up top. It dropped lower, it came back up, touched it, and then continued to fall all the way away, right? This was one from last week that we weren't going to use because it just got too late in the day. So, and again, there's your alert, guys, when we touched it, right? We knew we were sitting up top. We were looking to go short into the weekend, and again, gave us the nice little top and entry. So very, very easy. Again, this is another one of the alerts that it was like, yep, yep, yep. So we can take the alert now off. We'll leave this up here, but we're going to shorten this a little bit now to, we're going to pull it into there. I can go a little bit higher. I can go to there. That's fine. We'll use that candle. Shrink it up a little bit for the top. Anyway, Now, because again, the bottom here is very, very murky. You can see where we came down to the 112.85. It's touched here, it's touched here, it's touched over here. So it's a level that's been dinged a whole bunch of times. I think at this point, it's better to kind of look into what everybody else is doing. I would say the 50. There's a little bit of a base and a pullback right around the 50. So there's probably going to be something going on in this level right here. Um, you know, I think the important thing for this level is not to take this blind as well. I'd like to see this one come through, and here I'm going to set it now, and we're going to add an alert on it. And let's do Euro 50% fib. Whoops, not Z fib. Fib. And look, see, I did that, so now it doesn't go away. I don't have to worry about it going past it. I think it's an important level to talk to, and like I said, it could push up. It may turn a little bit early, and this one is a potential for a front run. But again, being a psychological level, being the fact that it kind of touched right up into it for where we are on the bottom. Again, it wouldn't have been a level on the way down, but we know that it's tested, so we know that there are some sellers in there. I think it's important to kind of look at this level as, hey, if we're able to rally back up again, right? And again, right now we do have a green push and we got a little bit of a red down draw. We just started the candle. But if we continue to push higher, now we've kind of changed trend for the morning. It's only 10 o'clock, but again, we still have time to kind of reverse it higher. I think it's a decent place. We're seeing profit taking right now, but I'd be looking for a rollover. So I mean, really, the levels that I'm looking for is again the same level up top. I like the 113.60 as the next time it comes up. And again, we could even set an alert up top if you really wanted to. I'm going to set it a little bit early though. Um, Euro top. Okay. So we have our two alerts. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move this down just a little bit. I want to know a little bit ahead of time. So yeah, so we got our two positions there. But like I said, I think this 50 would be pretty decent if we can rally up the end of the day. And if we can't, again, as soon as we get up there, that's one I will watch. I like the fact that it is tested. So I do think we'll get some levels there. I'd like if we went straight back up, it would be great. But I think we'll go up, pull back down a little bit, and then again, maybe rally. And then for tomorrow for testimony, I'm perfectly fine with this going higher. I think Powell is going to absolutely mention, the need to raise rates and control inflation. And again, all that is strong dollar. So this pushing up today would be, exactly in line with what we're looking for shorts tomorrow. But keep it on there. Set yourself an alert 113.20. Again, I'm not looking for a buying area yet just because we've touched it so many times. There's nothing really clean right now. I want to see it kind of come down and give me like a clean new base, right? I'd like a clean new base in here. Something that hasn't been chopped through, 10 times. There we go. Pound yen. So, pound yen. Last week we were still stuck in this level, and we really kind of ran out of steam. We ended right in this area, right? I mean, afternoon, there's no point. So if you were in any of this type of shorting position to try to take advantage of this, you just got out, more or less a break-even trade, and then it halted. And then again, here's where we ended. We just rallied up and went lower. So it looks much like some of the other trades out there. I would say right now, the fib trade from last week, we just ran out of steam, and unfortunately, that was the casualty of the end of the week, running out. And again, this is a new week, so new movement. So, what I'd say is I'm going to move fibs down at this point, and then just take the new kind of new high to low. Last week we were talking about targets at 155.92. Right now, we wouldn't be looking for entries until we get down to that level. And again, right now, this has been nothing but pound weakness. We saw the pound weakness in the euro pound. We talked about that already. So this is the pound weakness, but also the yen strength that we're seeing across the board. Also, yen is down, pound yen is down, dollar yen is down, CAD yen is down. We know big. So they all look the same. I would say right now, I'd be looking for some type of reversal. This is a lot of movement in one day. This is 92 pips. This is nothing earth shattering as far as movement goes, but it's been pretty much unidirectional from 3 o'clock on. European Open was sitting right here. So literally, where's the profit taking? We haven't seen it yet, but we are coming up on a level that again had a very, very strong burst out the top. So I would say that this is probably our target level. And again, with the correct bounce, we could also look for a potential reversal on it. I'd like to see the bounce that it placed, that we hit into. But let me see. If we push into this zone, I was trying to see if the 50 would put us back into a decent level, and it looks like it won't. It would need to push down all the way to here for the 50 to be in the right level. Yeah, so it looks like we'd have to flirt with this area right here, right? So we got to make it through here, right? We got to make it through this level first, which again is, I'll shrink it a little bit. Let's go a little bit more conservative. 55, I'd say 155.85. Again, strong push. It has pushes to the brink, so it's not the A++, but it is an option to go long. And then the next level down, I kind of like the next level. Not that I like the zone a lot, but it would make sense why there'd be a turning point right here, right? It makes sense that, and again, this is kind of preemptive. This is not, this is like forecasting with fibs, not an actual fib setup. If we come all the way down and we can push into this lower level where there are buyers down here, right? If we're able to kind of base and break through these guys, your 50% is right here in the middle of a very, very strong push down, a 2, 3 candle base, and then a very strong push down again. Big telltale sign we got some sellers in there. So it's kind of like a hidden level out here that, oops, if we forecast low, definitely something that I'd be looking to get short in. Okay. But right now, with as strong as a push, we need some profit taking to come in. Question is, do we do it right around 12? But 155.85. Okay. Pound dollar looks the same. Again, we were looking for shorts up here at 153.89. We kind of ended up there for the week, right? We ended here and pushed down again. So again, we were looking for that gap fill in it, and it did. You got a little bit of a push through at 4 o'clock this morning before absolutely collapsing back down again. So again, another one of those trade setups that we were looking to get short. If you guys had done this in an overnight setup with Nadex, you would have been short from the get go. You guys are pretty deep in right now. I mean, you guys are 65 pips in. So anything that you would get in the overnight, which again is what we were calling for, you're pretty much out at this point. You're sitting pretty decently in the money. Right now, again, I think we're in a profit taking area. You know, we got buyers here, a little bit of a base, buyers, buyers, buyers. This entire area here is kind of a hot button for buyers. So, not really my favorite of areas because, again, not clean, not fresh, not easy to see. I would say right now, look for a base and a potential kind of pullback. I think this one will turn and start to roll higher. But again, we're seeing pound weakness across the board. We're seeing dollar strength, so it's the ideal setup for a short. But profit taking is going to come in sooner rather than later. So probably an opportunity, but again, I don't know that I'd want to go long for this one. I think there's better opportunities that exist out there, and unfortunately, this is not one of them. You know, this is just not one that I'm overly, jumping for joy and be like, hey, this is great. Um, dollar CAD wise, so dollar CAD, we had an area lower, and we actually ended right here. So we ended on that level. As I mentioned, this is not super clean. We had a decent base, and then we had a touch, and we had a touch, and we had another touch. So there's our three, which basically eliminates this level. Then we opened up the new weekend here, and it kind of pushed up and hit it again. And we're like, yeah, it's not going to hold. It's not really a long opportunity. And it didn't. It based in here and then based again, and then collapsed through before again. US Trader coming online at 5:30 and took it high. So this area of interest, again, we pushed it to the brink. We weren't looking to get in. We did base in it, and then actually we did hit it and base on this side, and now we're basing on the other side. So it's not one we really need. I would say right now for the CAD, if we clean some of these things up and targets and remove that from last week, that one got front run, and then we ran out of time. I'd say top is good. We don't need that level. I would say we need to respect this level here. Let me see, where is that fib wise? It's a 61.8 trade. So yeah, there may be something in here because it did push, but then again, it's test, and then kind of exploded down. And it is sitting at a 61, so there will be that psychological need for people to get in there and be like, "Yeah, I got to sell that. That's a fib level." Yeah, it's a fib level. Fib level. Is it the best fib level? No, but it is confirmed. And again, it hasn't really pierced after this original candle. So, yeah, we're gonna remove this to the downside. I'm gonna mark the bottom, but I don't know. I don't. I don't love that bottom down there. I want to see how it hits that, or when we potentially hit it. But right now, um, there's kind of your top and bottom side of this one, right? Let's change this to green. There you go. So if you're looking for a setup, there is something in the middle of 50s a little bit earlier. I think the 61.8 is going to be where to grab this one. But look for a potential turn, roll back to the downside. And again, we kind of got our top and bottom ranges right now on dollar CAD. I do think the dollar will roll. Again, right now you're still seeing some dollar strength into it. And again, oil's down point seven. It's down 50 cents today, so we should be seeing that weakness. And again, do we think oil will spike this week? Yeah, probably. I mean, God forbid they mention any more supply chains, and then it's like, oh my God, all we need is one story how like the trucking backbone is all getting COVID and not working. I mean, we already got like empty grocery shelves, so that's all we need is for them to say, you know what, we can't deliver gas either. Price of oil goes up. Um, yeah, so I would say, I mean, here, let's do it this way. We're gonna put an alert right there. We're gonna go crazy with the alerts this week. USD CAD 61.8 fib. And there we go. If it happens in the overnight, we'll know. Dollar Swiss. So here's that dollar Swiss that we are talking about. We had this one drawn. We had this level drawn from last week. There's the Harry Potter that we had talked about last week. It had hit here. Actually, it hit here, 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 and here. So we already had four. You can see it didn't even slow down on hit number five. It sliced through. I'm looking for a pullback to that level. So if you guys are looking for long opportunities, I think this is decent. And like I said, I think the Swiss is all kind of screwed up right now. It needs to move to there. We got plenty of room for 1 to 3 to the top side. I would say make sure you're out before 92.88. I kind of need one more candle for this to pull back. It should be in near term, but like I said, I hope there's not too much of a dollar rotation on us. But overall, I think that has the ability to get high. It's just the question um, can the Swiss keep making dumb comments is kind of what helps us. But right now, this is actually the dollar Swiss right now is the biggest mover. It's up 0.84%. The next closest thing is the euro yen being down 0.7. So again, biggest driver out there. We're holding, looking for a pullback, and again, potential long opportunity there for you. Now, dollar yen. We're looking for this one go down. Now, this one, you could have said, "Well, wait a second, is this enough?" Maybe, but you would not have held this position over the weekend, and you were pretty deep in profit anyway. So you would have most likely closed this Harry Potter down for a 2 to 1. Like I said, we do not hold over the weekend, so it would have been kind of more along these lines right there. Actually, it would have been right there is where you would have closed yourself out at. And again, we don't take it again over the weekend. Everything rolls forward. So, um, right now, I will say I do like. There's a couple candles up here that I think are pretty decent that we should talk about. There's a zone here, right? I like it. It was touched, so we have a confirmation now. It should be red, right? Love the candle top. I love the formation of it. A little wick heavy on the downside, but I love the formation. Love the response off of it. So I don't need the Harry Potter trade anymore. So let's remove this. Let's remove this. We'll bring this across and talk about that level. I want to get a set of fibs in there because this has been like the Sunday night high down to where we are now. It doesn't look like it's in a level that we need to worry about. Um, I would say right now, I mean, really, besides this bottom, the next major area is going to be down below. We knew that this was going to slice through, and it did. It messed it up for us a little bit. You know what? I'll throw this one over here. Actually, you know what? I'll delete it. I'm going to put this up top. I want to know when we're approaching that level. What is this one? USD yen top. Actually, let me see this. Oops. Let's see. It is right around a 61.8 too. Question is, do we get front run on that 50 though? We get front run right there. Hmm. I like the 61.8 trade better than the 50, although we did have basing strong push away. So if this is truly our bottom, there will be probably some aggressive trades in that 50% range. It's got to hold though, of course. Um, hmm. So warning level here. We've hit the profit target now. This was our profit target, the 115.33. Let me see something here. Oh, it is pushing it right there. So if we push down into that 114.63, that was our level from last week. If we got low, we were looking to buy. Interesting that this top may be a 50% trade, right? Or even if it goes a little bit lower, right? We're kind of right in that same range, right? Hmm. Yeah, I would say regardless where these fibs come down at any of the levels, I think that 115.18 is a decent level to look at. Um, this lower, this where the basically where the alert is. Yeah, I would say this one has been really kind of chopped up. And again, we pushed it literally to the brink over here. So, not my favorite, and there's not really anything down here. I think this is the next real buy level. I think 114.69. And again, we can throw it up here a little bit early, right? Let's throw it. Yeah, it's fine, right? Um, Here. Let's do USD JPY bottom. There you go. got our alerts top and bottom for that one. So we're good to go there. All right, let's go across. Uh, Bitcoin, right? We talked about Bitcoin last week dropping. We had an area down there, and again, you saw all that basing and it sliced through it. Um, I mean, right now we're at 40,667. The reason why I'm showing these guys to you right now, I mean, again, Ethereum's down again below 3,000. It's down 5% today, and Dogecoin down at 14 cents. Money is coming out of these assets as everybody is driving towards a dollar. So strong dollar, you're going to see weak gold, weak Bitcoin, weak Ethereum. All the cryptos are going to be weak because again, you get nothing over here for it. Where with the dollar, you're about to get a bunch. So, um, man, I'm wondering if we end up breaking 40,000. If we can break 40, that's going to be like. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put a horizontal line on 40, and I'm going to throw if we can close there, right? I guess we did. We touched 39,000 this morning. Wow. Yeah, I want to see this one. Let's see. 40K break. That could set off some chain reactions. It's a very, very big number, a ton of zeros there. That could set off some major chain reactions. And that's probably why I dropped and immediately pop back again, because it probably set some people off. So yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. Let's go across and look at oil. So oil, more or less down right now. I was kind of looking to see where some of the pullbacks were from the top to bottom. And again, we were kind of chopping through right at the open. We got this little push and then it continued push down. Right now, all fear is Omicron. What do the numbers look like? Who's going virtual? Who's going to have to stay home? So it is technically, again, another bearish day for oil. We talked about it last week. Again, the non-farm numbers were not as high, showing us that we had lower than the proposed demand. So we kind of expected that. I still would, where we're at right now, this is an old level. We're seeing some chop through. I'll remove it now because we don't need it from last week. But I would say, I mean, in reality, until we get much, much lower, I mean, I think we probably don't stop. We probably don't stop until down here. I mean, that's really the true next big area because there's nothing in here. Um, Here's what I'm a little bit more interested in. Where will people jump back in and get? Hmm, that level right there. Right there. Interesting level. It did not touch it, but again, decent level of basing. And I guess actually it probably started more back here. Probably started more kind of in that range right there. I like that we had the base, we had the touch, front run, touch, and then push back down again. This could be a level for Wednesday. Could be an inventory level. 79.35. Yes, I'd say right now for me, kind of top and bottom of these two levels. Obviously, this one will be a green with a black first. This will be a target on the way down. And again, typically you want to hit this first, and then again that would be a European session kind of roll off of, or a U.S. session. But right now, don't have to worry about it. Now, I will say I do think oil is going to come under fire tomorrow. The fact that it is leading inflation, and we are now at like it's 39-year highs, but it's expected to go up to 7% is what they're forecasting. It's really hard to say how did you let it get to this stage when everybody last year was like, no, keep rates low, keep rates low. Um, so yeah, I think oil will come under fire tomorrow. I do think Powell's speech will move oil around a little bit, even though he's not going to be talking about oil inventories. He's going to talk about demand, labor going up, and again, I think overall it'll be pretty positive. Question is, and again, rising interest rates aren't going to affect oil that much. So I do think we look for buys tomorrow. Okay, let me mark this off right now. 1430 right there. Yeah, it's kind of our range. Natural gas. So natural gas is finally pulling back. All right. Last week I was looking for this level at 40.06. I said this would be a great Sunday night gap. Unfortunately, it gapped higher, and then we kind of getting the pullback and then quick spike and down. Again, I expected natural gas to have a big boom with all the temperatures, snow, cold, storms, everything. Um, this was very expected. I wasn't going to hold over the weekend. The other part of this is obviously the Russia story. Russia having issues with the United States obviously tends to raise the price of natural gas because Europe is concerned. Right now, though, I think we do come back and fill the gap. I think at this point you start looking for shorts. It's an area I'm going to remove it just because I want to keep this as clean as possible for this one. Like I said, we were looking for levels to get short on the gap, and it ended up going past them, and there's nothing we can do about that. I would say right now, let's see, the 425 I still like on the top. Let's see, none of these are really awesome. Hmm. I would say, I mean, really, the next great level is going to be all the way back down here. But I mean, this is a dollar range, unfortunately. Well, I guess it's not a full dollar; it's about 75 cent range. But you got to mark the gap. I would say right now that would be our target. Any shorts that you're in, look for $3.93. That's our first target. If we can stabilize in there, again, this can go either way when it fills that gap. But I think this one comes back down today. I wouldn't be surprised if that does that and starts to accelerate a little bit. Yeah, I think this one comes back. But yeah, so 425, 554. Look for a target right now on any shorts you have at 393. Gold. So gold tagged at 1800. Now it's kind of stabilized itself. I think gold's gonna have an issue tomorrow. Reason why is because tomorrow is going to be all about crushing inflation, so gold should have more of a negative day. I don't know if Powell releases some kind of like hidden secrets about, hey, listen, we're going to have 7%. Don't be surprised because remember Wednesday CPI, Thursday PPI, so it's literally inflation. It's this is all week inflation. Um, but remember, crushing inflation is not good for gold. It's the exact opposite. So I would say right now, depending on where price is sitting right here, I mean, if Powell's like, "Oh yeah, inflation's higher, and we expect it to go a little bit higher," like if he admits that they expect inflation to go a little bit higher before they get to raise it, I think gold has the opportunity to pop pre-news, but I'd like to see what it does. Today, I'm not as interested in trading it. Like I said, I got 117.82. We touched it last week on the news and had a nice rally back up again. The top side clean is going to be up here at 108.07. So we'll bring both these across. And again, this happened. It just did it like this. It went straight down. So that was good. Um, with more destruction, right? We got an alert down south, right? A break of 1774. There is a Harry Potter, and again, I don't know what's going to get there. Actually, you know what? Let me just delete this. Yes, let's go this. I don't have to move it anymore. We'll go horizontal array. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it on the top side. You know what? We're gonna go right there. Let's set this in. Gold Harry Potter. Whoops. Gold Harry Potter. All right. There we go. So we got an alert at 1777 for a short. So I kind of would like us to be up at 18. I would like to get short, but I'm afraid if we the where it's placed right now, I'm afraid that we get up and then European session takes us down. Um, and again, if Powell speaks, he I really believe I think there's a high level of confidence that he brings up the 7% tomorrow because it's out there. People know about it. I feel like a senator will try to like act tough and be like, "Hey, isn't it true that we're seeing rates go up to potentially inflation potentially going up to 7%? Is that correct?" You know, and I think he has to acknowledge that. If he talks about inflation being higher, I feel like it could provide a nice little pop. Um, because I really feel like if someone says, is this as bad as inflation is going to get? I feel like he is not going to step on the trap and say no, right? Like if someone asks him if this is the peak, if this is the worst inflation is going to be, and will it be under, is this as high as inflation we're going to see? If somebody asks that question, they get the golden donut, right? Because Pal's going to have to say no. There's a potential for it to go higher. That can give gold a nice little that will jack gold. That'll jack the cryptos, right? Um, it'll provide a trading opportunity. So we got to see where price is at before the news tomorrow because they can drive it right into a zone. We can have some great setups. But there's your top and bottom. Looking at silver. Silver's trying to rally back again. We never got an entry on the break of 21, right? We literally had this one spike in at 8:30 in the morning, and really just that's not an entry point for us. So it's not there. I would say next level, we have some up in here. And again, we were looking for this as a target, the 2266. So the target is out. The longs are all good from last week. We can remove this now. Let's throw some kind of recent high to lows. And again, this is pretty easy. Go high to low. Ooh, look at that. 50 is sitting right there. And again, that should be, yeah, there's a little bit of a gap in there. So I'd say there's a level kind of sitting in here. There's one that's a little bit lower as well that we could arguably make, but I think go with the one just a little bit higher. There'll be a little bit of a buffer there for people to come over the 50. But again, 50% retracement in silver, right? So you'll have the commodity people coming in. I'd like to see silver rally a little bit higher, but this would be an entry of approximately 2271. Okay. So we're good there. Let's see. Tesla is we drew this. This is an area where buyers have come in. Looks like they're trying to start to rally higher, right? Starting to kind of little push it up there, right? Right. Again, NQ is getting slaughtered because this is down again. So it's trying. It's still negative from where it closed, but from where it opened, it is definitely up on the day. So starting to move, starting to come back. Again, we need this for any of the futures contracts. Apple is basically where it opened. Now again, Apple's got some buying just a little bit lower than where it was, right? Um, Actually, I guess I could here. Um, we'll base it there. So Apple's also in an area, and again, straight up, straight down. I think Apple has the ability to kind of get higher as well. So if Tesla starts to roll higher, I think Apple follows it. And again, this is a gap. This is a bottom. So there's definitely some buyers sitting here. I don't think Apple can erode, and people see, oh my God, 2% down. Yeah, but it only opened here. I mean, it's from where it opened. Uh, your 930, it opened here. It is currently 50 cents down. I mean, it's 50 cents down. So yeah, it's down a lot from where it closed yet Friday, but it's really kind of where it opened. So I'm not as concerned. Um, VIX is still rising. We're at 19% now in the VIX. Let's see. Is there a headline that just came out? Now normalizing the balance sheet will be gradual. Oh, okay. Let's see what he has to say real quick. Hold on. It should be gradual. The predictable way worked well. Um, hmm. I wonder what he means by worked well. Because I mean, we are at 39-year highs. So are you saying that you predicted 39-year highs, or utilizing limits of the balance sheet helps ensure it shrinks in a measured way? Uh, Should but can't. Fed, you're way behind now. Inflation is totally out of control. Yep. Yeah. That's why I'm here for the comments, right? No choice to act. There you go. Everybody's in the same. Everybody's in the same group. So yeah, the market all feels the same exact way. So yeah, not surprised. I love when they make these comments. So yeah, VIX is There's got to be more than that though. That really the normalizing really what shouldn't mess it up. That I mean that really throws up a kind of wrench in it. People are like what? Um, Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's no major headlines, but volatility is spiking. NZD higher. Yeah, no major headlines. So that's kind of odd. Wonder what is driving that up right now. But that's why the markets are going down. If this stops and starts to roll again as we go past this 1030 mark, everything should be in a better position. But this is headline based. This is headline based increases. And again, it could be Omicron. It could be. It's probably what it is. People here on like local Omicron things that don't show up on like kind of the finance worksheet. Um, It's got to be why it's raising. Because, like I said, there is no international headlines right now. Sean, have you seen anything come across your little kind of breaking news ticker? Because there's nothing listed here. And again, that's Logan shouldn't have raised it that much. I mean, again, there's the guy that's being sued for dumping off 500 pounds of pennies, but again, it's not illegal to be a jerk. Unemployment 7. Nothing important. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, like I said, I mean, we're not low volume time. That's an odd spike for the first hour. And again, I got that the overnight move made a lot of sense. This is a lot more move than what we should technically have right now. So I'm looking. I wonder if we get a top in there if we start to see a buying opportunity. Maybe we get an end of the day rally in the indices right now. Because like I said, no major headlines, nothing out there. What was the? Let's see. All inventories were slightly higher, but that's not. I mean, final wholesale inventories, it's like 0.2%. I mean, again, you're seeing empty shelves. Having wholesale inventories higher is not that bad of a deal. So I mean that again, that's not really justified. So yeah, there's something that's really spooking the market right now. Probably the initial reaction to Omicron and are kids locking down? Are kids not locking down? Who's closing? Who's on this? What are the CDC guidelines? Are they 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? We're using a six-sided die or an eight-sided die or a 12-sided die. And you guys that play Dungeon and Dragons, get those out. The CDC is using that to figure out quarantine at this point, it seems like. But yeah, look, we're up to 21.38. So yeah, something is driving this high volatility right now. Um, Especially with Pal speaking tomorrow. If he was speaking in a couple hours, I would get it. Like if he was speaking today, we would definitely be up here. But yeah, it's a little unjustified. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a stop and a roll. And again, that would lead us into an end of the day rally. So let's see what we got here on the 15. You can see, I mean, here's 9:30. We were already moving. There was no slowdown whatsoever. So we broke through 4,600. We're down at 45.80. Let's see. I mean, I got to go back. I mean, we did have a Harry Potter here, so let's see. Did we get a pullback for this old Harry Potter? This was from December 22nd. Nope, we did not get a pullback. We were calling for a short, but never even got the pullback in ES. So again, we were looking for price to break through there and come up. It looks like the next one was all the way down here. So, well, again, we missed it a little bit, right? We missed it a little bit. So yeah, so this one was valid. It blew through. It didn't give us an entry, unfortunately. Um, Take some of these off. These are targets. Out, out. We can move this. Pull some of these off. That was out. Good, good. I can pull this. Let's pull this. Let's pull this. This long worked fine. There's our basing. Gonna move that. Yeah, this was definitely the drop. Look, all the way through. Man, it didn't even slow down there. So yeah, we technically we need to remove that one. We didn't even get a pause, so we can't even. So again, it was a great short call. It just never pulled back for an entry on that one. If you guys were looking for it, so this is FOMC. They haven't even raised rate yet, and this is FOMC. God forbid they said they're going to raise it 4 times. Woo! We're gonna get some craziness. Let's see. Let's do high to low. Yeah, look, that little hiccup right there is right between the 50 and the 61. Hmm. I like that just for the simple fact that, hmm. Oop, there we go. I like that. I like that just for the fact that if this is the bottom, again, it's 10:30 right now. This is our common reversal time. If the profit taking is coming in now, we start to rally back up again. That drops us right in between the 50 and the 61.8 on fibs. That would be a decent level to start taking some shorts off of. And again, there's not much stopping it, right? This is a very, very strong push to the downside. So I think even regardless, the fact that we're starting to pull back from that level, I think this is a level we want to watch out for. And again, we can throw a array and we'll put it a little bit early and we'll add an alert. You go ES 50% fib. I think that could be an interesting little target there. I like that one. That's not bad. Again, if this is the pullback and it continues to blow lower, then yeah, then we got to change a little bit. But right now, if this is the bottom, and again, 10:30 reversal, we're smacking that. This is it. This is when the 10:30 is in. This is when we would see it. Right? This is when we would see that reversal. So yeah, that could be decent. NQ, obviously NQ is getting blown up. Um, we talked about having a Harry Potter trade. It also did not pull back. So again, we called the bottom on that one. We actually kind of need this to come down to like here. We need to go a bit lower. We can remove that line now. We were looking for a short, no pullback, so let's remove it. Let's put targets up here. Hmm. Look at this. 15,400. Had a little hiccup right here at 15,300 and then 15,200. It's following both these tops. Let's see. 7. Let's do it from here. Yeah, it's a little bit high. A little bit high. Let's see. 15. There you go. There's your 15,100. 15,100. Again, psychological level. If we can pull down and base that, there's your 50% right there. There's your base and strong punch out of that one. that off. 15,374 or 372. And again, that's if we come down. But again, lined up, I like how it based. I like the explosion out of that one. That's a decent level. I'd be willing to take that. But for fib traders, they're going to need to come a little bit lower. So yeah, watch that. It's pretty decent. Um, YM is the strongest of the group, but you can see YM got absolutely nuked off the open. It played catch up. It was fighting. It was fighting. And then 9:30, bam, it just got hammered. So problem with this one is again parabolic base move here. Let's see. Um, we had the test, but I wouldn't say that's great. Let's move this off. We had this from last week. Um, I'd say probably. I mean, that's going to be our new level. We may Harry Potter this one next week too, a little later this week. Um, yeah, we're pretty close to it. All right, that level got chopped. Look at that, man! It just blew through that. We had that Harry Potter, and again, it grabbed it and went. Those targets are out. Those targets are out. Hmm. Man, as the negativity set in, that's a big move. Even though we're holding firm, that's a 500-point drop. That's 450 from the 9 o'clock window. Hmm. I'd say watch for again so much negativity. Again, this is probably why the VIX is jacking up. If we can base in here, so I would say look for a buying opportunity here. Again, I don't know what time we're gonna end up banking off this level. I don't know if we're gonna do it at lunch, but if we can get a bounce in, like a decent kind of 50% push in, and then a kind of a rally up, I'd be willing to take a long. But we need kind of a push in out, and then we need a lower high, and then we need to kind of test it. Is what I'd be looking for. So kind of a confirmation entry on it, right? I don't want to just take a touch higher. I think it's a little bit risky. I think if we can get a confirmation in, it's worth taking. Um, but with this big of a push down, I wouldn't be surprised if we have profit taking and then an end of the day rally. If you can get into something end of day, I think there'd probably be something decent in here. But unfortunately, the way that this pushed down, there's not going to be a whole lot holding it back. Russell, yeah. So Russell, let's see, same thing. The open 9:30 just nuked this one as well. Let's see, where do we got from overnight and down? Yeah, it's a 61.8, so it's a little bit deep already. And we're at, this is an old level. I don't need to mark this level. Oh, yeah, we don't need this level. This is an old one. Um, I'm going to say next level is, oops, nope, not that. Wrong one. There and there. It's really the next confirmation bottom. Let's see, how far does it need to drop? It needs to move a decent amount. Another 28 points. Do I need a black line? Oh, no, the black line was an old target. There's going to be a hiccup right here. I want to see what it does on this one. Turn these orange. I'd like to see what it comes. I want to see what it does off that level. Yeah, I had that little level marked off. Again, if we start to find a base in there and we start bouncing off of that one, we get closer to end of day, there'll be profit taking, and that could be a potential profit taking level. I think either of those two are decent. Not really super interested in taking anything long or even really trying to remotely get into something like a decent size position till 2107. But could this be a bounce level for later? Yeah, it could be. It only needs to move another 12 points to the downside, so it's not in a bad position. Um, like I said, Apple's hitting that level and it's fighting. There's buyers in there, but it's giving it a hard time. And then again, Tesla at 1,001, right? So it opened the day. Day's range was 980. So again, we're off the lows. I mean, it's fighting back right now, but we're off the lows of Tesla. So again, if Tesla can start grinding up, a couple of those tech stocks should be able to join it as well. Let's see what dollar's doing. Oh, look at that. Look at the dollar profit taking coming in. So You're seeing the dollar reverse, right? Strong in the overnight. U.S. trader came on and said, no, 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 no. That helps. Question is now, does the VIX take the same turn? If VIX takes the same turn, then indices are going to get a chance here. This is down. If this retraces back again, over to here, these guys all should start moving a little bit. But yeah, 525 in YM. So yeah, like I said, it's got to be the. I'm not watching any of the news programs right now, but got to be the local COVID. And we've had like 4 updates this morning. My phone has gone off. We've had like they've done this, they've done this, they've done this. I haven't got a notification that I need to pick up the kids yet, which is good. But yeah, I'm expecting I'll get that call sometime this week. That you know what, we're closing down, too many kids. And teachers are pissed. Teachers like, why do we not just go virtual? Like I don't know, I'm not a teacher, so. All right. Only thing else I would watch out for tonight is again we have this Aussie retail sales at 7:30 p.m. Again, it's expected to be not as good as it was before. Maybe it's a little bit overly negative. Again, with the Aussie kind of in the red right now, we're seeing Aussie weakness. This could be a little bit adding to it, but again, if this number is a miss on the top side, say it's a 4%, it's not as high as it was before. That reverses the Aussie dollar trend right now of being down. So could be some good Aussie opportunity tonight. Again, remember, it's a little bit early right now, but get in there, kind of see where these areas are. Again, we got some buyers here, but then nothing down until 71.27 in the Aussie. You know, it's hiccuping, but I'd still much rather be able to go long from it down here for news. And Aussie yen is kind of the same thing. Aussie yen, look at that. It's hit it. It's pulled back twice. Let's see. Did we get a base? Oh, we kind of did get the base in here. Yeah, we kind of did and touched it. So, yeah, it looks like that. The Aussie Harry Potter again. Again, even with an opening down here, there's your pullback, and then you know. So yeah, a close, and again, this would have been your entry candle. So it looks like you are technically live in that one. So driving down, to the lower side, right? So go Aussie yen. We'll see if that continues out for you guys. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and do today's drawing. We got 8 people in. We got more than normal, right? Neuro is going for number 3, right? So Nora is going for his 250. He stopped earnings the first day. He won Friday, so today is the numero tray for 250. So, and again, remember, guys, if he wins, he is within 100 points of Ernest for third place. Is it third? Fourth place. Because I think it goes Will, Marina, Debbie, and then Ernest. So yeah, there could almost be a new contender here in the market. 4th. It is 4th. Okay. Neuro's all over it. Neuro's like, no, I'd be in 4th. I would actually be down 97 tickets. As long as I log in, 8 minutes before Ernest, I'll overtake him in, a day. And again, remember, we won't do a pip drawing tomorrow. So Wednesday we do 50. Now again, it does reset. You don't get anything above the 250. So it does go back. If Neuro wins today and he wins Thursday or on Wednesday, he only gets 50 on Wednesday. So it does go back. So all right, let's see what happens here. Okay, close it down. Look at this. Ernest is like, he ain't gonna win. Look how confident this guy is, right? This is like major league, right? He's pointing to the left field, going for the home run. Yeah. An alert just went off. Hold on, let's see what alert went off. Wow, look at that. Euro pulled back. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna say that there's Sean, that's probably a news headline. There's probably a news headline. We talked about Quick. That was 18 in one spike. Again, nice little reversal at 9. It's going to take a little while for me to get it. So, but yeah, there's probably a headline that just launched that. It's at 10:44. That's quite the spike. But there you go, guys. Oh, did I just move it? I did. I moved it. And now it's like, oh no, you did move it right in there. There we go. All right, here we go. Winner of today's drawing is God. One of these days I'm gonna hit and refund. You guys are gonna freak out on me. Winner is wow. Look at that. Will's like, I got to keep all these young bucks down. Look at that, man. Will had a 7% chance of winning, but congrats, Will. I mean, Will was like year 2021 was like the year of Will. So go, Will. But look at that again. The big guy got stopped, right? and it wasn't like he had a lot of opposition, right? Ernest was like, "You ain't gonna win, you ain't gonna win." But I don't know. Maybe Will and Ernest have now joined forces, and maybe they have joined forces, and are fighting back. Maybe I never know what to expect anymore. Will's like, I don't even know, man. I got nothing. I thought I had it worked out. I'm still winning, but man, I got nothing. So, all right. With that said, like I said, watch this 7:30 release tonight. I think it'll be a decent one. Should provide some good opportunity for us. And with that said, you guys have a great trading day, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Take care. Remember, tomorrow though, it's at noon. Tomorrow at noon.